In this tutorial too, we are going to understand how to create floors, how to create stairs, and how to create a roof. These are sketch-based components. They are done by sketching on the drawing. So I'm going to share my screen now. So in sketch-based components, the components are created in sketch mode by drawing the outline of the object. For instance, if we want to draw a floor, you're going to go to architecture, and then you're going to go to floor. So we are drawing a floor, level 1 floor. So you go to floor, architecture. So once you click on the floor, you're going to see this boundary line, slope arrow. So you can use the boundary line. You can also use the option of picking the walls. So whichever one that you want to use. So if you pick the walls, you can just pick each wall. If you select pick wall, you can just pick each wall and it will put a line at the boundary. So let's zoom in and look at it. So right now the line is inside, so we're going to use draw the boundary line instead of pick walls, so that we'll make sure that our lines are in the correct position. So you go to architecture and you go to floor architecture, and we're on level 1. So we're going to use this boundary line, use the line, and go around the object. So I'm just gonna make it straight because we can have the floor going on like that. So it has to be in closed loop. And once you have finished, you click on the finish edit mode and the floor is created. So if you go to view and you go to 3D view, you'll be able to select the floor. This is the floor we just created. So we're going to create another floor on level 2 of the building. So to do that, I'm going to go to level 2. And we want to see the outline in level 1. So when you come here, we'll say, okay. Level 2, you want to be able to, the raised bands is level 1, and the top level is level 2. And you want the underlay orientation to look down that way so you can see the outline in level 2. So let's check our level 2 in elevation. Level 2 is here, cutting 10 feet. So I'm going to delete it and I'm going to create it again. So we're going to go to architecture, level. Remember, it's supposed to be 10 feet. So I can go in here and change it to 10 feet. So sometimes, okay, I'm going to change the level and make it level 2. Sometimes you have to check your phase to make sure you're seeing everything. So I click on level 2. Okay, right now we can see it. But sometimes you will also have to check the phase at which it was created to make sure you're seeing everything. So we're going to draw the level 2 floor. So you go to architecture and floor architecture. We're going to select the boundary line and remove bound. So these are sketch-based components. You finish sketching it, and then you do finish edit mode. So now we have the level 2. So if you go to view and you go to default 3D, so you can see your floor on level 1. You can see your floor on level 2. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add stairs, our stairs components and railings. So if you come up here, you can see this, the stairs, and then we're going to have a railing right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is level 1, and this is level 2. So let's look at what we have in level 2. So you have the stairs, and it's going up this way. So let's go back to our drawing. And we have stairs coming up here. So you're going to go to architecture. You're going to put in stairs. So you have to make sure you know the location of the stairs. So zoom in. And you have to have the width of the stairs. So if you check on the stairs property, you're actually going to see the width of the stairs. But Revit does do calculations automatically for you. But if you go to edit type, you see the properties. And so you're going to see the height, the depth, and the width. So we want the width to be 3 feet, it's fine. So you can change the properties. You can change the depth, the height, and the properties and apply. But right now, we're going to leave it like this. And once you have finished with the stairs, you hit your check mark and you have the stairs. So we have to create an opening on the second level floor for the stairs. So now I want to pick up the floor. I'm going to move the wall a little bit so I'm able to pick the floor. So I'll pick the floor and edit boundary. So while we're editing the boundary, we are going to create an opening here for the stairs. So I'm going to come here and say, put in boundary line. So I'm going to put in another boundary line. I'm finished. And so if we go and look at it now, if you look at your 3D, you check your 3D view to make sure your stairs are in the correct. Let's clean this railings. Let's delete it. So this does not seem correct. So you have to make sure that the base level of your stairs is in level 1 and the top level is level 2 because stairs is going from level 1 to level 2 and you apply. So now this is correct. So I'm going to tilt, and then you can see your stairs coming up from down here to the landing and coming up. So you have to check your stairs in 3D to make sure it's in the correct position. So right now we can see that the stairs is in the correct position. You can see it moving up here to the landing, and you can see it coming up here. So what we can do now, because you don't want people to fall into the stairs, so we can put a railing up here around the stairs. So I'm going to go to level 2, and we'll say, okay, architecture, and we go down to railing. So railing is also, you also sketch parts. So it's also a sketch-based object. So you have the floors, the ceiling, the stairs, the railing, and the roof. These are all sketch-based objects. So we can check 3D view again. Now you can see your railing, and you can see the stairs. Good. So we're going to go ahead and do the roof. So I'm going to come to the roof level. So just like we did on the second floor, you have to make sure that the range you underlay, the underlay is what is showing under, so that you can see your drawing. So we want the base level to be level 2. You want the top level to be roof, and you hit apply, so that you can be able to see what is underneath your drawing. And you want to make sure you check face filter, yes, and sometimes you just click none. So that's because sometimes if it's sure, it doesn't, but if you click none, then you're able to see everything. So if you're not seeing your drawing, check your face filter, make sure it's on none, and then you also go to underlay, and you make sure underlay orientation is look down, make sure the top level is roof, and make sure the base level is level 2. Then you should be able to see the outline. So now we're going to draw roof. To draw the roof, you go to architecture, and then you go to roof. So you have roof by footprint, roof by extrusion, roof by face, roof by soffit. So different methods of doing roof. But in this lecture, we're just going to learn roof by footprint. So roof by footprint, and then you have to select just the same. You can select a boundary line, or you can also pick walls. But this time we have an overhang. So I'm going to use an overhang of 1 feet, and we also have a slope. So for roof, you have an overhang, and you also have to set the slope of the roof. But if you select, I'm going to select wall in this case. So once I hover on the wall, you will see the line. And then hover on this wall, you're going to see the line. So I'm just going to hover around. We have to join all the elements eventually anyway. Okay, this is because this is a curtain wall. So in this one, I'll have to use the boundary line to draw it and make sure it's in the correct position. And I had moved it, so I have to also make sure that I put it back. So the walls have to be joined. So now each one, you have to select what defines the roof slope, like that wall. So it defines the roof slope, and then they will ask you what the slope is. If it's 30 degrees or if it's 9/12, which one? So defines the roof slope, each one of them. So right now, this is showing us 30 degrees, but suppose sometimes it shows us 9/12, and so 5/12, which is also correct. So we have this, and So once you have finished and you have defined the size that will show the slope of the roof, then you click on this. So now if we come to our 3D view, default 3D view, you're going to see the roof. So the roof is here. If you have the roof, sometimes you might want to check materials on your object. So for example, if I select the roof and I go to edit type, so I can go here and say structure, edit, and by category. So I come in here and I can apply different materials on the object. So for instance, I want to use aluminum for my roof. I can select aluminum. You can also create new materials from here. You can duplicate material and add the material on for your object. So now I have aluminum as the material for my roof. I apply and I say, okay. So we have our roof, we have our walls, and the last, we can also just do our ceiling. So to do the ceiling, these are the ceiling plans. You can go to level 1 or you can go to level 2. So the level 1 is a floor, so we are going to create ceiling on level 2. So like I said, ceiling is also a sketch-based component. So you go to architecture and you go to ceiling and you select what height you want your ceiling to be and the offset from the level, the boundary. So you select everything and then you can draw, you can put in your ceiling. But for today, we are going to end the lecture here. So you have to learn how to do sketch-based components, floor, do the floor on level 1, floor on level 2, create your staircase, create your ceiling, and finally create your roof and make sure that your roof is the correct level. Thank you.